Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 64 of a weekly gaming news show. Today is Sunday, September 3rd, 2017. And as always, I'm here with Trinell.
That intro, flawless, my boy.
Yeah, one of these days, I had to get it, right?
You had to get it. I like that one. That was really, really nice. Very professional. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. A weekly gaming news show. The podcast where two video game veterans talk about the weekly gaming news, and we give our opinions on it, and we like to discuss those opinions with you all. It's another Sunday, which means we got a lot of stuff that we want to talk about. But before we jump into that, we're going to do our weekly icebreaker. And if you're new to the podcast, the weekly icebreaker is just a question that we ask of the panel, whether it's just us two or if we have special guests. But we like to get a sense of where we are on certain gaming topics. And this week's gaming topic is what would you like to see out of the Tokyo Game Show? That's not too far off. I'm expecting,
weeks, right?
Yeah. So I'm expecting to get a lot of news. I'm expecting to talk about a lot of stuff on that show following the Tokyo Game Show. But before we get there, what are some things that you are looking forward to seeing? I'll let you go first, Boogie.
Well, being a lot of the Japanese developers pretty much run that show.
Right.
I'm wanting to see more. I want to see more 4K content. I've got the PS4 Pro. I've got the One X on its way. I want to see content for those systems. I know both systems have a decent amount, some older games that have been converted, and some newer games coming out. Okay. I want to see what they're gonna have. I want to see Dragon Ball FighterZ. Is that going to be 4K? Because from what we've seen, I've not seen any mention of 4K. From what we've seen, the game looks beautiful. It can look that much more better in 4K. What I would not like to see is I don't want to see any more of the VR molester person simulators that I had last year.
Yeah.
They can keep that. No more of those, please, Japanese developers. But yeah, I want to see.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. But go ahead.
I definitely want to see.
If there's a will, there's a way to just like perv out on just about anything.
I definitely want to see some 4K content. Definitely, I'm not expecting to see anything big from any of them, like Microsoft or even EA or Capcom. Well, maybe Capcom, but like EA or Ubisoft or Activision. I'm not expecting them to have a big major appearance there, but I'm expecting the Capcoms and the Konamis and the Bandais and Square Enix even to have a strong showing.
Okay.
And whatever they show, I want them to show me 4K.
Okay. I'm kind of on the opposite fence. I'm actually expecting to see a lot from some of these first-party developers, especially Microsoft. They have had the worst luck, or I wouldn't call it luck, but just like they don't do well in Japan. So it would be really cool if they came to the Tokyo Game Show and showed off something that just about everybody in the world wants to see, and that is some exclusive games. If they came to Tokyo Game Show and showed off some games that nobody's seen before, that would be dope. And it would probably get a rise out of people, and it would make a statement at the Tokyo Game Show, which is predominantly for the Eastern market.
Right.
That hey, this is the place for games, because they have been pushing in a lot of different directions, and that's something that we're going to talk about later on in the show.
Right.
But the one thing that they're missing is games, and if they came to TGS and showed off maybe not even like I would say less than a handful of games that nobody has seen before, like maybe even three games that nobody's seen before, I think that would really make a statement.
Yeah, I don't expect them to do anything at TGS just because they're not pretty much not existing at Tokyo Game Show. I mean, in the East. In the Far East, they're pretty much non-existent. I mean, they may show something, but I don't think it's going to be any type of revelatory stuff, especially with Microsoft, because Microsoft has a conference that they do every October.
Yeah.
So if they're going to show anything,
it'll be directly to there. I'm just saying it would make a huge impact if they were to do something like that.
Yeah, it would be.
It would definitely be a surprise.
Definitely, yeah. Like you said, they need the games. I mean, we got Cuphead. Did you pre-order Cuphead?
No, I didn't pre-order. I didn't pre-order that. I'll buy it when it comes out, but I'm not gonna pre-order it.
It's $20. I don't know. I pre-ordered off. I pre-ordered off of Amazon because they gave me a discount as a Prime member. It was like $3. I got it like an email.
Okay.
I got an email. They said you can pre-order as a list of games, and Cuphead was on there. I think I got $3 off. So instead of $20, I paid 17.
No, Cuphead looks dope. I've wanted that game since the first time I saw it. Like 3 years ago now.
Yeah,
I feel like it's been like 3 years.
I just hope it doesn't go the way of Recore.
I don't expect it. It's actually turning out to be more than I expected. I first saw it. I thought it was just like boss rushes. Like you would just like on a single screen and fighting bosses, but it turns out that there actually are like side-scrolling sections.
Yeah,
so that's cool. So it's turning more into like a Mega Man style game instead of just like a boss rush, like, you know, hell shooter type game. You know,
right.
Turned out to have a little bit more depth, which is greatly needed.
Nice.
I mean,
Always
goddamn,
nice.
three year after the announcement. And we just now getting it.
That's something. What's his name? Phil Spector?
Mm-hmm.
He came out and said, "Oh no, I think it was either Spector or it was Ibarra."
Spencer? Is it Phil Spencer?
Spencer. Yeah, Spencer. I think it was actually Mike Ibarra. One of those two guys came out and said, "We have a problem with announcing games way too early."
You think?
Yeah.
They do.
He mentioned that after they'd announced the Crackdown delay.
Okay. Yeah.
I forget which one of them it was. I think it was Ibarra though.
One of the two.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, so that was our weekly icebreaker. If you have questions that you would like us to answer, go ahead and ask us. You can use the hashtag weekly icebreaker on Twitter and ask us any question that you would like us to discuss during this segment. We are all about hearing what you guys have to say, giving you our opinions on things that that you enjoy. So use the hashtag weekly icebreaker and ask us a question. We'd be more than happy to answer it. But with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next segment, which is the quick hits. And these are short little stories that we want to talk about that don't necessarily deserve a deep dive, but it's something that we wanted to mention to you guys. So Boogie, I'll let you go ahead and start things off. What's our first quick hit?
Okay, so the first quick hit is has to do with the PlayStation VR. For anybody out there, everybody knows the PlayStation VR is $399 and I think $499 for the PlayStation VR with 2 Move controllers and the PlayStation camera. The PlayStation camera is and has always been required with the PlayStation VR. So the PlayStation VR is getting a quote price drop.
Yeah, heavy on the quotes.
It really isn't. So basically what they're doing now for $399, they're bundling in the must-have, absolutely needed PlayStation camera that you previously had to buy separately for $50. I mean, a lot of times you can find it for $35 or $40, but the suggested retail is $50, $49.99. So they're bundling that into the basic PSVR model for $399, and the $499 model that comes with the camera and the 2 Move controllers is being dropped to $449.
This is not how you price drop. So
no, yeah, this is definitely not a price drop. And let me tell you something. Let me just say something. For all you Sony fanboys out here, that always. You know, that you sniffing Sony's brown eye. If you don't know what the brown eye is, look it up. But if another company did this, Microsoft did this, if they said, "Oh, you can get the Xbox and you got this great game, but you need to connect, but you got to buy the Kinect separate," you would have set the gaming world. The gaming world would have been on fire.
Yeah,
Sony does this
routinely.
All the time, yeah, routinely, and nobody says the word. It's okay. Well, you needed to play. Well, you damn right I needed to play. Why I got to pay extra for it?
Yeah.
When I'm paying you $400 for a piece of hardware, I don't even have strong feelings that's going to be supported. But really, this is okay. It's the same thing like we've mentioned this many times before, where Sony came out, was like, "Oh, Sony PlayStation 4, and we're going to charge you for PS Plus," and nobody batted an eye. People was like, "Yeah, we're going to pay Sony $6."
Yeah.
Where the previous 10 years, PlayStation fans were like, Microsoft sucks because they charge you for online. It's the end of the what?
I'll never buy an Xbox, so you got to pay for online, and now.
Right. It's okay for Sony to do it. I just don't understand. I don't understand. It's like Stockholm syndrome, right?
Yeah. It's like Sony can do no wrong out here.
Right. It's like whatever. I mean, if you were sitting on the fence for a PlayStation VR, this is still not a reason to buy it.
No.
I mean,
and like the reason that they didn't bundle it, initially, their excuse was that, you know, plenty of people already have the PlayStation Eye or, you know, whatever, the camera.
Nobody had it.
It's like nobody had it. So
like 7 people who bought the move set.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. This isn't a price drop. They're basically just giving you the required equipment for free now instead of making you pay $50 extra.
And I bet you, and this is something I probably should have done. I didn't think about it until just now. I bet you, if we go through a lot of reviews, people bought the $399 PSVR only to realize they needed a camera and were pissed about it.
I'm certain that somebody went home with a PSVR and didn't know that they needed the camera. I'm certain that that's happened before. Yep. I'm gonna have to scroll through, go down the Amazon reviews and find one. Doesn't include the freaking PlayStation camera. Like, why?
I know, and you've worked retail. And I've worked retail. Oh, yeah. When you return stuff, you have to put the reason to return it. And I'm pretty sure they got a lot of little reasons from Best Buy that said, didn't know I needed a camera.
Yeah.
So,
definitely something that Microsoft wouldn't have been able to get away with.
Nope.
But Sony seems to be, you know, getting away with and just, you know, running away with all that money, man.
Yeah. Just give it to them, right?
Yeah, just give it to them.
Doesn't matter. If it's Sony, it's okay, right? If it's blue. If it's green, then it's a problem.
Yeah, I got a problem with that green.
Yeah.
What's the next quick hit? What we got?
OG Xbox One. For all of us that got the first edition Xbox, that is no longer a thing. And actually, the OG Xbox One was discontinued last year when the Xbox One S went on sale. It's just that they didn't announce it, mainly probably because they wanted to do the stock sell through and probably try not to discount the price as much, too much, I should say.
Right.
You know, they can still try to keep it at the same price or close to the same price as that One S, because if you start discontinuing the Xbox One, people see that
it has less of a value, so that, you know, there's no reason for you to be paying the price that you're paying for the OG hardware. Yeah,
but on top of that, it brings the brand down as a whole because people can misinterpret that as, oh, Xbox One is being discontinued, and that'll hurt the One S and even the One X.
Exactly.
So instead of making that type of announcement, they just kept the stock and sold through it, and now, you know, they're just saying, hey, yeah,
we're not making any more of this model.
Right. I mean, that's to be expected.
It's to be expected. I honestly thought that was the case when they announced and released the Xbox One S. Right. I assumed that was going to be the replacement for the OG model.
At the time of the release, there were rumors swirling around that they had stopped production. It's just Microsoft wouldn't confirm it. And now they've finally come out and confirmed that there's no more OG Xbox One. So for all of you that still have your OG Xbox One, that is now a collector's edition.
Oh, yeah.
Xbox One.
In there.
And if you want a collector's edition, I'm pretty sure you can go to GameStop and get one for like $75.
Hey, yeah. I don't have the day one edition because I didn't buy mine's, at launch.
The day one edition, the only thing you got was the controller.
Yeah,
the Xbox didn't have anything. I kept my day one controller. See, that's right here. That's my day one controller.
Okay,
but I let the Xbox go.
Okay, yeah, I still have the OG Xbox. If there's any upgrade that I'll get, it'll probably be the One S. I don't think the One X is gonna fit with me just because I can't take advantage of the 4K.
See, what my recommendation would be, I would go with the Xbox One X. Mainly just it's future proofing.
True. Yeah, that is true.
So down the line, you won't have to say, "Oh man, I should have got the X and I got the S, and now I still just skip the X." It's just, in my opinion, like where you stand, you don't have the hardware to really take advantage of it. There's no reason for you to run out and go get it. You know, wait for a year. Maybe it's going to get a price drop, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm most likely get it against again 500. I mean, it's most likely going to be worth it as far as, you know, the actual hardware is concerned. Like it's worth $500, but yeah, it's a little too steep for me at the moment.
Understood. I mean, yeah, I wasn't happy. I was hoping for it, but you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is. We're gonna stick with Microsoft because we have one more quick hit with these guys. What we got? What's the next one?
Yeah, Microsoft is doubling down on their cross-platform play.
Commitment.
Commitment. You know, they just came out. Is again Mike Ibarra. He's saying he's open to conversations with any and everybody, from developers for developers, for any developers that want to do crossplay on Xbox and PC, and they still want to talk to Sony, and they're open to talk with Nintendo and whoever else out there wants to share platforms. I think that's great. That's what we want as gamers. Yeah. That's what we want.
Yeah, because honestly, like we were going through it, a couple of episodes ago, we were talking about it, and we mentioned that this. The reason that Sony doesn't want to do it is because it's not going to really benefit them.
Right.
But in all honesty, it's not going to benefit any one, first party company. It's not going to benefit Xbox. It's not going to benefit Nintendo. It's not going to benefit Steam. It's not really going to benefit any of these guys except for us.
Right.
The only people that are going to benefit from it is us.
Well,
as the players.
There's two groups that's going to benefit. It'll be us, the players, for sure, because now I can play with you and O and Yama while you on PC, and I can play on my Xbox or PlayStation, whatever. We can pick whichever console we want that best fits our needs and wants, right?
Right.
But on top of that, it's going to help the developers because they can sell more copies and their games will last longer.
Well, yeah.
Because there's a thing where you're on PlayStation, I'm on Xbox, and there's this game out. And it's like, well, I want to play with Trinell. I'm not going to play with anybody else but Trinell. And you just say, well, I'm not going to buy a PlayStation. You're not going to buy an Xbox. Well, I'm not going to buy the game.
Right? Now nobody's playing Destiny 2.
Nobody's playing. Exactly. So if you're allowed to cross plat play, that's an extra at least one sale, but probably two, where people that were on different platforms wanted to play with each other just didn't bother to buy the game. So cross-plat play is definitely a step into the future. It's something that's long overdue, and like you said, the console makers, the hardware makers, is little to no risk to them.
Yeah, it's no risk to them. Like the developers are going to have to do all of the work. They're going to have to implement it. They're going to have to make sure that it's functional, it's running properly, and they're going to have to maintain it.
Right.
All they have to do is just allow for
turn it on.
Yeah, just turn it on. That's all they have to do.
Right, give the okay.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Hopefully, it's going to come in. This is what I'm hoping to happen: is that Microsoft is able to get Nintendo and developers that's developing for PC on board, and they're able to make a lot of these games cross-plat, and it starts adversely affecting Sony because that's the only way Sony's going to get on board, where they see, well, Call of Duty sold 3 times as much on Xbox than it did on PlayStation, and it's because people are playing
against people on PC or whatever.
Right. So until that happens, Sony is probably going to stay stubborn. So I'm rooting for Microsoft to get these the developers that's making the games on PC to include that cross-plat play. I mean, they just added Sea of Thieves. It's going to be cross-plat between PC and Microsoft, and that's a first-person shooter. And they specifically talked about balancing weapons for the difference in controls, the difference between keyboard and mouse and control pads. So they specifically talked about that. They worked on it. There was mention of how lessons they learned with the Gears when they did the Gears 4 cross-platform. So there's precedence, and you're going to figure it out, and it's going to become a common feature as opposed to this huge story. Is it canon? When will it?
Right. Yeah. Because the only thing that I can see coming out of this is that Sony pushes themselves into a corner the same way that they did with the PlayStation 3. And they're going to allow for Microsoft and for Nintendo to thrive, and they're just going to keep themselves isolated. Because the PlayStation 3, for the longest time, I think for the first 5-6 years, sold like garbage. It's because they had their own infrastructure. They wanted to do things their way, and games were not easily ported or
it was hard to develop.
It was hard to develop for. They didn't make it for the developers. So now this is the adverse effect where they're not doing things that benefit the communities, these communities of gamers when it comes to multi-platform games. Nobody's telling Sony to put Horizon Zero Dawn on PC. No. Nobody's telling them to put Uncharted on Xbox. But Call of Duty should, why fracture the community?
Yeah, I should be able to play Call of Duty against anybody else in the world that's playing Call of Duty, regardless if they're on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC.
And I can understand if you have an exclusivity deal. So like Street Fighter, it's exclusive to PlayStation, but you also have the PC version. Do that for all, or multiple.
That has cross-plat play.
Yeah, and it has cross-play. Yeah, so again, do that for other games. Like even if you have an exclusivity deal, like still make it cross-platform with at least the PC. Like don't like just keep doing that. Like no.
Cross-platform play does not affect console exclusivity.
No,
it does nothing. It doesn't matter because Sea of Thieves is exclusive to Microsoft's ecosystem, Microsoft PC or Windows PC or Xbox, and them having cross-platform play does diddly crap for PlayStation. No. And vice versa. Street Fighter V, which is exclusive to PlayStation, have a cross-platform play with PC, doesn't make people go out to buy an Xbox so they can play Street Fighter.
Right.
Because that does nothing. So there's not a negative effect. And Sony's bullcrap stance that they want to protect user security. Yeah, tell me how that was. What was it? 2013, 2012, when they
have enough problems with user security without cross-platform play.
Yeah, right. That's not an issue. That's just a bullcrap excuse. But let's move on because I'm getting upset.
Yeah. So we have a couple more quick hits. We'll go down the list here. Dead Rising 4 is going to, speaking of exclusives, this was exclusive to Xbox. It's going to be coming out on the PlayStation 4 in December. It's going to December what? 5th. What day?
December 5th.
Oh, December 5th. Okay. Yeah, and it's going to include all of the DLCs, which is pretty cool. Kind of like a Game of the Year edition is just coming out for the PlayStation 4. But with that, is going to come some pretty cool content known as the Capcom Heroes pack.
Yes, Capcom Heroes mode. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and that allows you to play as the character dressed in different like Capcom character attire. So you have like him as like Zangief, and he has like wrestling moves, and he did like Cammy's like spiral arrow. It's pretty cool. You know, dress him up as Mega Man X and shoot some people. Man, yeah. So it's actually pretty cool. I didn't play Dead Rising 4, and I haven't really been a fan of Dead Rising 4 at all, honestly.
Ever. Yeah, me either. I'm not. I'm over zombies. The only zombie game I would think of playing is if they released another Left 4 Dead. But I'm
yeah, we know Valve ain't doing that. Making way too money selling other people's games to make their own.
to be bothered, right?
Right.
I outside of that, I'm not a Dead Rising fan. I hear it's a good game. I played I think Dead Rising 2 or 3. I played it for a little while. It's cool. It's fun. It can be fun, but I'm just over that type of game. The endless hordes of dudes, stupid nonsense.
No, I agree. But yeah, if you've been clamoring for some Dead Rising on your PlayStation, December 5th is when you can scratch that itch. It'll be coming out with all of the DLC, and then the Xbox people that already have the game, they will get a free update that includes the Capcom Heroes pack, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Xbox guys, you're not getting left out or getting cheated. I mean,
I hate when that happens, man.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, the Capcom Heroes pack will be a free DLC the day that that the PlayStation 4 game is released.
So December 5th.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's cool. And that is our quick hits.
Wait, we have one more, don't we?
Do we?
Yeah,
we do. One. Yeah, I'm speaking a little too soon. Go ahead before I forget again.
The last one is regarding esports and Olympics. We talked about this a couple of weeks back. Well, there's been a bit of an update. What is his name? His last name is Bach. I remember that. I think it's Thomas. Thomas Bach is the president of the IOC. And he said that they do not want, if they bring esports to the Olympics, they don't want violent games. So you're thinking like your Overwatches, your Street Fighters, your Dotas, your League of Legends, that type of stuff aren't invited. He specifically said that they would like to promote nonviolence and peace. And they will be interested in games that are of simulations of sports that are already in the Olympics. And pre-show, I had something to say about that. I think that's a bunch of hypocritical malarkey. Yeah. Because when you have taekwondo, you have judo, you have fencing, you have shooting events, you have archery events. Those are all violent events. I mean, hand-to-hand combat, whether it's exhibition or not, is violent
in nature. Yeah.
If you're shooting a gun or you're shooting a bow and arrow, you're practicing your ability to actually strike targets so you can kill, be it a human or an animal that's violent. So for you to say we want to promote nonviolence and we don't want games that have killing or explosions, if that's the case, you want to promote nonviolence. All of the fighting events, the wrestling, the boxing, the martial arts, the shooting events, the archery events, all those need to go too. So I don't like that hypocritical nonsense. That's a poor excuse. It's to me, it's that age-old video games cause violence argument, which has been proven time and time again not to be true.
Time and time again, yeah. Extensive studies have gone through on it, and they have never been able to directly correlate any type of like violence that was induced by playing video games.
People are going to be violent because it's just who they are. There are some triggers and some influences, but to say this guy was a perfect straight A student until he started playing Grand Theft Auto because that's always the game people would cite. That's malarkey.
Yeah. And I can understand like not having like intensely gory games. Like I wouldn't expect to see Gears of War, in the Olympics or anything like that. But something like Overwatch
or Dota
with like really cute and cartoonish characters, vibrant, lush environments. And they have like an Olympic mode in Overwatch. They have like a event going on that celebrates the Olympics.
The summer games,
the summer games.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on now, like Overwatch is not an inherently like violent situation. I mean, I don't know. It's a cutesy, cartoonish looking game, and it's super competitive. It's one of the most competitive video games, and has created a massive esports scene around itself. So for you to exclude that, like by name, like we Overwatch, no, like come on now, that doesn't make any sense.
The problem with that, this is what'll happen is they'll do FIFA and they'll do Madden, and nobody will watch those things because people that want to watch soccer are going to watch soccer. They're going to watch Argentina because they want to see Messi. They're going to watch Brazil because they want to see Neymar. They're not going to watch people play FIFA for those events. What? That's nonsense.
And see, the thing is, they'll implement it. It'll get low viewing records and scores, and it'll be like this was a mistake. We'll never do it again.
Exactly. That's exactly the point I was trying to get to. Exactly. Because nobody wants to watch simulation of real people, but they will watch simulations of stuff that's really not possible.
Right. Yeah. That's
the foot. That's talking to you, Hanzo.
Yeah, and then like that's kind of like the appeal of video games and why a lot of people play them is it's an escape from reality. A lot of people, if they want to go out and play basketball, they go out and play basketball. They got people that they do that with. That's why I don't really get like a rush or anything from playing like sim games, because it's like, it's too much like real life. I want to jump 30 feet in the air, and I want to dunk, and I want to break the backboard.
I'm just saying, the only games like sports games, definitely, just because I like to be able to tinker with my horrible team, the Knicks that never win, and throw them up and make them win. And then like the only other is racing games, because I know I'm not going to get behind these Porsches and Lamborghinis. It's no chance. So why not just simulate it and kind of have the experience? That's cool. Yeah. But when it's like stuff I can do, life simulators, I mean, that's what I live for.
Truck simulator.
It's nonsense.
Yeah, but either way, I think this is a very bad look on behalf of the whoever's in charge of the Olympics. I really think that excluding games that have shooting or a form of violence is
it's short-sighted.
It's short-sighted. It's hypocritical, and it's a bad look, and it's going to create a situation for video games in the Olympics that doesn't really need to be there. Right. It'll be a bore fest instead of something that could be like actually like fun and entertaining.
What they're going to do is bring a bunch of games that nobody is interested in and nobody's going to watch it, and they're going to say,
because like if you're watching the Olympics, the Olympics is for like live action sports, like the apex of live action sports. Why would I watch a simulation of that when the real thing is happening right now?
Exactly.
Like that seems like a dumb. I would want to make a spectacle out of esports. I would get some like super crazy games like out of nowhere.
That's true. Rocket League, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's going to be there. That's probably.
I don't know.
I mean, the cars
League.
do explode,
and they shoot. So
yeah. Hey, you never know. You never know. But yeah, so that was our quick hits. If you want to submit a story to us, use the hashtag quick hits. And send it to us. If any of our stories that we pick from you guys, it'll most likely be in the quick hit section. So do not hesitate. Send us stories and let us know what you think about this. Whether it was the Olympic story or any of the quick hits, let us know what you think down in the comment section. Hit us up on Facebook, on Twitter. Let us know what you guys think about these stories, because we are very interested in hearing what you guys think about them. So we'll move on to the next segment, but before we do that, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor. And our sponsor for this week and for every week, I should say, is the New Challenger Discord and the homeboys and homegirls over at New Challenger TV. If you head on over to newchallenger.gg, which is their main website, you can basically get a lot of knowledge and info on your favorite characters in Street Fighter V or Injustice 2, with more games coming down the line like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Dragon Ball FighterZ. The Discord is filled to the brim with knowledgeable people that have played video games for a living, and they dedicate their time to coaching and putting on tournaments, online tournaments, to help new players get good at their favorite games as their favorite characters. So go to the website, get some knowledge, and hit them up on Twitter. They are at New Challenger TV. And if you go to their Twitch channel, which is also New Challenger TV, they have weekly content like the beginner breakdown, which shows you the ins and outs of different matches and what people can do to get better. Like if you're making a constant mistake, they show you what you need to do in order to stop doing that and get better, get good at your favorite game. So shouts out to Mr. Vinegar, who is the founder of the Discord, and as always, shouts out to Mount Lover, who is our personal friend and a coach and a moderator, as well as a commentator for the bi-weekly tournaments. So let's go ahead and get into the top 5 news stories for this week. And first up, we have some Sonic news. Oh man, Sonic has been in the news this week. A couple of stories that we have to talk about. First of them being the PC release. As everybody knows, the PC release for Sonic Mania was delayed, but it recently came out, and a lot of people were a little disappointed at some of the choices that they decided to make. Most notably, the inclusion of DRM. and not just any DRM. What's the name of it?
The Nouveau's DRM.
Yeah, the Nouveau's DRM. So
which a lot of people, anybody I've ever heard talk about it actually hates it.
Yeah.
Because it's really heavy-handed. It's not that strong. If you look at the Nouveau's list of games, pretty much more than half of them have been cracked.
Right.
So I mean.
Yeah, so I'm not sure whose decision this was, but what it did was it didn't allow for you to play the game offline. So you had to be logged in to your Steam account in order to run the game. If you tried to do it without being logged into Steam, you will get an error message saying that the game will is not going to launch because you're not online.
Right.
Go ahead.
That seemed to have been an error, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it says the user must be logged in to play this game. That's the message that that they got. It has been fixed as of right now. There was actually an update that was put onto the game's Steam page that said that that the issue was resolved. And actually, Aaron Weber, who is the guy that's in charge of their social media account, he put out a statement saying that this was something that you need to direct directly at SEGA. Let them know that this is something that that's going on, and they promptly fixed it. Along with the DRM, they did include some bug fixes that have since now been rolled out into the console version. So there has been quite a few updates, but yeah, it it was a kind of a nothing story to me, honestly.
Right.
Because it's like, who plays Steam games not logged into Steam? Like, who does
Right.
that? Like, I don't.
It's odd, right? But the thing is, there's obviously somebody that does, because they found this issue and it's a problem, right?
Yeah, it's a problem. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think it was that big a deal. Like, if the only thing that it did was just not allow you, like, I'd say if you had to be logged into like SEGA Net in order to, play or something like that, something extra. But it's like, come on, dude, you logged into Steam. Just
right.
I don't know. I didn't think it was a big deal. But
I think the bigger deal was the fact that they added the copy protection, considering it's Sonic Forces. Sonic has got a huge fan following and a huge fan development team people. Tons of fans that develop games for Sonic. I don't think personally it was necessarily needed. I think it's kind of I don't know. It's kind of I wouldn't say a slap in the face. It's less than a slap in the face, but it is not. It's not a positive look when you're looking at Sonic fans and thinking, well, they're going to rip us off, because Sonic fans love Sonic. They buy Sonic, and the reason this game came out is because of the fans.
Because of the fans, like this was a product of fandom,
right?
So I don't know. If you look at it that way, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but I honestly didn't think it was that big of a deal. I mean, I purchased like 5 copies of this game. Granted, I gave away some of them, but yeah, I mean, it's a cool game. I don't think that this is gonna plague it with any like malicious intent or anything like that. Sonic Mania is a fantastic game. If you don't have it already, go ahead and get it. And continuing on with more Sonic news, we have some news about Sonic Forces. It has been given a release date and a bonus edition.
Yes.
The release date is going to be November the 7th of this year.
You know what else comes out on November the 7th?
What's that?
The Xbox One X.
Oh, damn. Well, I will be buying one of those products. Not going to tell you which one, no. But yeah, there's also a pre-order bonus that includes some pretty cool costumes from other Sega franchises. You can get the Jet Set Radio outfit, Persona 5 outfit, one from Puyo Puyo, one inspired by Super Monkey Ball, and one inspired by the Knights series. You also get a controller faceplate for
skin,
for the console of choice. The only one I haven't seen the one for the Xbox controller, but I've seen the PlayStation and the Switch versions. It looks pretty cool.
It's cool, yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's nothing. It's not too terrible. There's also something that was announced that I haven't been able to find a picture of, but apparently there's going to be a Shadow the Hedgehog skin or outfit as well.
That is supposedly, as it stands now, was only announced for the European version.
Okay, yeah. A better thing would be just to make Shadow playable, but I mean, whatever.
I think it's even with a specific European game store. I'm not sure, but that it seems like that's exclusive to Europe as of right now, from everything I've seen on that.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and pre-order. Pre-orders are available right now. Again, the release date is November the 7th. And yeah, the bonus edition has some pretty cool costumes that you can dress your avatar in. So, pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next story, though. What we got?
We got the PlayStation Plus games for September.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
These are actually pretty good.
Yeah, they came correct this month. This is the second month in a row they came pretty strong. And yeah, the first game, the 2 PS4 games are Infamous Second Son and Strike Vector EX.
Strike Vector.
Yeah, Strike Vector EX. Yeah, it's I mean, if you know what Infamous is, it's an open world superpower game. And then Strike Vector EX is like it's a space shooter. Then for PlayStation 3, you've got Truck Racer and Handball 2016. And then for the PS Vita, We Are Doomed and Hatoful Boyfriend. Both of those games are actually will be playable on PlayStation 4 via cross-buy. So this month you're getting 4 PlayStation 4 games instead of the usual 2 or 3, which is kind of cool. And then there's two bonuses they're thrown in. For the first time I know of, and I'm going to say ever, because first time I have ever noticed, there's going to be a free PSVR game. Riggs Mechanized Combat League for PSVR. It's a first-person shooter. Only for PSVR users, or actually for PSVR in US and Canada. And then there's also going to be, starting on October 19th, for Neverwinter, which is a free-to-play game, you'll be able to get a free Neverwinter pack. And that's to celebrate the latest update called the Tomb Annihilation.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, definitely came correct. I have been a fan from afar of the Infamous series, so I definitely want to play Second Son. That looks like it's going to be really fun.
I played the first one. I didn't really like it, but I'll try it. It's not gonna cost me anything.
Yeah, it's free. I'm actually a little upset. I didn't download the Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry. Yeah, I didn't download it.
It's still up. Hold on.
Is Freedom Cry still available?
It was still up yesterday because I looked to see if I could download it.
I'm gonna have to get that if it is.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm looking on my phone.
But yeah, for like the second month in a row, they have definitely been killing it.
Because last month, Freedom Cry and Just Cause, man, those, in my opinion, those, if for free, they're must gets. Yeah, I would say for sure. And this month, I definitely, Second Son is definitely a must get. Even if you don't have a PSVR, I'm gonna download the PSVR game. Maybe one of these days they'll drop it to a reasonable price, and that way I'll have it in my list. Let's see.
Ready to go.
Yep. This PlayStation app is ridiculous. It's like 6 different pages. It's still up.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to get Freedom Cry like in a second.
Yeah.
Before it goes away.
Yeah. Last month's games are still up.
All right. But yeah, so those will be the games for September. I plan on getting Second Son. That's gonna be fun. And that other game, the other PS4 game,
the shooter game.
That one looks really interesting.
Get that too. Yeah. Strike Vector.
Strike Vector. Yeah.
That looks interesting. I'm definitely going to get that. I'm going to try it. I like those shooter games. You know what? I miss the vertical. I miss the vertical shooters, like the horizontals. Like you look at Defender, Gradius, the 19 games, 1942, 1943. I miss those games.
Yeah, the hell shooters.
The hell shooters. That's it. And this seems to be a super more advanced. It's 3D. There's some side scrolling in it. There's some vertical shooting, but there's a lot of first person controls. It looks like so. But I'll definitely try it out.
Yeah, sure. Seems cool. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next story. What we got?
We got some news out of Mixer, Microsoft and their Mixer app. So Mixer for people that are in an alpha ring, like me, there was an update. We constantly get updates, and recently they updated Mixer to allow you to stream 1080p. And unlike Sony's update that allowed you to stream 1080p only with the PlayStation 4 Pro, the Mixer update allows you to stream 1080p with any Xbox.
Any Xbox.
Even
Xbox, the OG.
Xbox One S and, of course, Xbox One X. So that's a thing. So now, and again, this is streaming to Mixer. It's not streaming to Twitch or YouTube or anything else. When you stream to Mixer on your Xbox, you'll be able to stream at full 1080p resolution, which is nice. I mean, I think that's pretty much almost a prerequisite coming in these days, especially when everybody's pushing for 4K. I mean, to be forced to stream at 720 is persona non grata, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But that, and then the next thing, and this was been in beta for a while now. It's been in beta since June, I believe, maybe even earlier. But Mixer has a mobile app. It's called Mixer Create. And that's now going to allow you to stream games directly from your mobile device, your Android phone or tablet, your iOS phone or tablet. Now, there are restrictions on iOS, where Android, you can pretty much stream any game. iOS, you can't stream any game. And that's not an issue with Mixer. It's just Apple's iOS. It has to the game has to support Apple's iOS replay kit. It's like a SDK. If you don't have that in your game, you're not going to be able to stream it. But if you do, you'll be able to stream off of Mixer. And Android, I think that's actually built into the OS. So any Android game is able to be streamed on the Mixer Create app. And it also adds like some chat integration and other stuff. You can actually do co-streams.
Oh, wow.
you won't be able to invite people, but you can accept invites. So if you're streaming on Mixer and you invite me to stream my Pokemon Go session while you're doing something else, you can invite me and I can accept and do it that way, which is cool.
That is actually very cool. That's pretty cool, man. and like I've said before, that multi-stream feature on Mixer is it's magnifique. It's right. Really good. It's really good.
Oh yeah, it's like it's so seamless.
Oh, so seamless, and it's so like impactful on me because I have tried to do that the hard way, like syncing up streams and all that. And like doing that manually is rough.
Right.
And you know, for Mixer to be able to just seamlessly just implement it, it's awesome. We definitely need to do more Mixer streams here in the future because that is an awesome feature, and it's really fun too. Like even when we were getting wrecked in For Honor, we were having a good time, and the stream was actually enjoying it too. So we'll have to get back into that real soon.
One other thing I've left out, and that's just as important, it also allows you to, when you're streaming, you can now use that app to answer chat.
Okay.
So when you're streaming and you see chats popping up, instead of you going into on the Xbox and replying or going to your computer, you can use.
You could just use your phone. Oh, okay, cool. So if you don't have a mic, you can actually respond to the chat via the app instead of. Oh yeah, that's really cool. Excuse me. Thank you. Yeah, so that's dope. Mixer just doing more and more to pull people in. They have some pretty cool features, man.
It's getting popular. I've noticed since it's been since the wide release on Xbox, I see more and more people on Mixer streaming stuff, and bless you. And just like you, a lot of times it's multi-streams where they're streaming on Twitch and Mixer, but still they're bringing more and more people in. So that's cool.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But we have we have a couple more stories. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. And I think I will take this story because we are talking about the 30th anniversary for the Street Fighter franchise. As you guys know, the 30th anniversary for Street Fighter launched, launched off with the release of Ultra Street Fighter 2 exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. And while a lot of people may not have been necessarily happy about this as a 30th anniversary, this is something else that Capcom decided to shovel out for you, and it is a actual physical working copy of Street Fighter 2 for the Super Nintendo, available for purchase. For the low price of $100, you can get your very own 30th anniversary edition of the vanilla Street Fighter 2 in all of its broken glory. So yeah, it's limited, very limited edition. I think they're only going to be making 5,500, and a very limited edition of those. I think only 1,000 of those are going to be with the glow-in-the-dark Blanca colored green style that you're seeing on the screen here. Although it says that it's not the final art, but yeah, 30th anniversary Street Fighter 2. It's like come on, man. How many times you want me to buy Street Fighter 2, bro? I just bought an overpriced version of Street Fighter 2 for the Switch, and now you want me to pay $100? Well, for vanilla Street Fighter 2?
This is a collector's edition. I don't think I don't believe that they think a lot of people will actually play it. I think a lot of people will buy it just so they can have the cartridge. Again, both cartridges are there's the Ryu opaque Ryu red, and then the Blanca one is called something stupid, just as stupid. Hold on, I have it here because I want to say it. The translucent glow in the dark Blanca green. That's it.
Translucent
glow in the dark Blanca green. I think it's just more of a collector's item. For $100 bucks,
but it is functional though. That's the thing.
It is functional, but there's a chance if you put it in your Super Nintendo or your third-party Super Nintendo console, it might set it on fire.
It might set it on fire, so be careful.
So be careful with that. So that's why I think is more of a showpiece than an actual game that they expect people to play. My biggest issue with this is it's a 5,500 unit run with 1,000 of the Blanca green ones, but there's no way for you to guarantee yourself to get the Blanca green one.
Right.
It's just
it's random. Yeah.
Yeah, the first 5,500 people that make the order, 1 in 5.5 of you will get the Blanca green one, and everybody else will get the Ryu red. So there's that. I mean, if you're a huge Street Fighter fan,
why is it Ryu red? Ryu's color isn't red. That's Ken. Should be Ken red.
His headband.
Nah, man. Ken is red. Red is Ken's color, bro. Get out of here.
I know that, but it's his headband. I'm sure that's what they're referencing.
Well, yeah,
because he wears white. His gi is white.
His gi is white, but Ken's entire gi is red. So it's like, why? Oh well. I mean, I don't know. I really feel like a lot of people were expecting a lot more from Capcom and Street Fighter for the 30th anniversary. I mean, 30 years of Street Fighter, and all we have to see for it is Street Fighter. No, it's just Street Fighter 2 re-releases. Like that's literally all that they've been doing. Ultra Street Fighter 2 for the Switch was it's
a dog.
Well, yeah, but it was a more expensive version of a game that they released for the arcades, which was the Super Street Fighter 2 like Ultra Turbo or whatever.
Who still plays that game? To be quite honest, is there a huge
Ultra 2?
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be an Evo.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like it's real. It's real, man.
Let me just eat those words.
Yeah, I think that thing's gonna be an Evo. So I don't know, dude. If you're a Street Fighter fan if I was a major Street Fighter fan, I'd be a little disappointed. Yeah. I would want something a little more. And they did release a new character in Street Fighter 5 not too long ago.
What's the character's name? I can't think of her name. Apparently, I know he's doing some crazy combos that people are very unhappy with. But I forgot the name of the character.
But yeah, the 30th year for Street Fighter is not looking to be one of its best years. I mean, Street Fighter 5 is probably one of the lowest selling Street Fighters ever, maybe.
For making it exclusive to PlayStation, and now
exclusive to PlayStation, and there's not a lot of content for casuals.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's not something I thought it was a pretty interesting story.
I mean, it's a very interesting story, and it just proves. I don't know. It sets a.
It's the milk, man. It's the milk. Just milk us all. Milk us all.
Yeah, that seems to be all that they're about these days.
Right, and that is not just them.
No, of course not. But I don't know. For the 30th anniversary, come on now. It just seems a little like, really? Street Fighter 2? That's it?
It could have came a little better, right?
Could have came a little harder. I agree with that. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next story. What we got?
Our buddies at Nintendo, they had an event.
Oh boy!
They showcased the independent developer games on the Nintendo Switch, now known as Nindies.
The Nindies. Oh yeah.
Nintendo, man, you're so cute. You make me sick. Oh my god! But they showcase a pretty strong list of independent games, including a new No More Heroes game, and also a new Shovel Knight.
Okay.
And a new Super Meat Boy. I think the Super Meat Boy is going to be an exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they've showcased quite a few. It's interesting what they have showing up. I think again, indie games is not a lot. I'm always going to say the Nintendo Switch is super underpowered for today's standards. But when you're looking at independent games, yes, it can play indie games, and I think these type of games are right up Nintendo's alleys. I mean, there are a lot of platformers that are, and a lot of the indie games are platforms, and there were a lot of platformers that were showcased, and it works perfectly with the Switch. Something you can pick up, play real quick. You can take it with you if you want to take it with you. You don't have to worry about multiplayer online connections and stuff like that.
Right.
There was some interesting games outside of the big name ones.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the appeal of the Switch. You know, it's supposed to be a console that you can just pick up and play anywhere. having these like little small like little indie games that you could just kind of just like pick up, play like while you're on the go, while you're on the bus or whatnot. It seems to be where they're trying to hit hard. And I'm looking at some of the like pictures and a lot of like different like puzzle games, some that actually take advantage of the touchscreen. It seems pretty cool. I mean, I'll probably end up playing some of the more high profile ones,
right?
Like the new Shovel Knight and the new Super Meat Boy. They actually just came out with some new amiibo for Shovel Knight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just came out with a triple pack for the King Knight, Plague Knight, and one other one. I can't remember who. But now that brings the count to 4. They have 4 amiibo for Shovel Knight right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, but some of these games actually look pretty interesting.
Right, they do. They do. I mean, they have a couple that are kind of like super advanced. They had a first person one and a third person one that were pretty good looking. And then they had that one dance game which I'm kind of interested in. Is what's it called? Floor Kids.
Okay.
It's a rhythm game. That looks kind of cool. Something I want to play with my daughter. That's what caught my eye. It looks really cool. But yeah, I mean. Good for them. Again, support is what they need. I mean, they tried it with the Wii U, where they just tried to do first party support, and it actually didn't work out.
No,
because it just didn't work out. So they
couldn't get the games out fast enough. I mean,
right?
They would release a game, they would eat it up, and in like 3 weeks there was nothing to play. So yeah, they need all the support that they can get, and if they're getting all this massive support from the indie scene, that is nothing but a good thing.
Right.
Like I've been saying, at its current state, I still think that the Wii U, the Switch is not, a viable purchase. Like I am not. I can't say that I'm truly satisfied with my purchase so far. I can't say that. I can't say that this is, something that I needed. Like I did not need Splatoon 2 because it's more like the first one. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is actually really fun. I'm having fun with that.
Yeah, I like that. I've been crushing that game. That game is awesome.
But is it worth
the Nintendo Switch? No. Yeah, no. I mean, it's cool. I wanted to Switch anyway. Mario's plus Rabbids is great. But like I said, Splatoon 2, I'm like, it's cool, it's kind of fun, but I'm like, I'm not dying to play that. And unlike you, the new Mario game coming out, I can live without it. I don't give a shit. I don't really care. I'm not a Zelda fan, so I don't care about Zelda. So I mean, there's a lot of reasons for me not to have it.
Right.
But I mean, if they're getting support, there's going to be a reation for me to have it at some point. As long as they get that support. As long as they get that support. So we'll look at it that way, and we'll see what's going to happen with the Switch in the future. But the indie showing and the Nindies, that show, it was a pretty strong showing. There was a lot of games that were very interesting. And the good thing is, I think they showed like 20 or so games, and more than half of those games will be out before the end of first quarter 2018. So by the end of March of 2018,
right?
A lot of these games are coming out.
And surprisingly, there was a lot that I had never heard of, and I don't know if they're going to be available anywhere else. Well, at least initially. Yeah, they launched a bunch. They listed a bunch of exclusives too, which is kind of cool. But so that's pretty cool.
Yep.
But yeah, if you want the full list, we'll have that link down in the description. You can check that out and check all of the games that were featured. Because if we went down the list and talked about each and every one, that we'll go on forever.
We'll be here all night.
We'll be here all night. Yeah. So let's go ahead and end that topic. And that was actually our top 5 news stories. So we want to know what you guys think. Hit us up on our social media and tell us what you think about these stories that we were talking about today. We're going to move into our next segment, which is the long form discussion. And the long form is basically we take one topic and we just deep dive. We just go all in on one topic or a category, and we just go back and forth.
Yep.
So for this week, Boogie, why don't you go ahead and introduce the long form? What we got?
So we've been talking a lot about cross-platform play. Me being able to play you on Xbox or whatever, me being able to play whatever system I want.
Right.
But something that doesn't get enough attention and should be getting a lot more are cross-platform saves. When am I going to get a cross-platform save? So what I'm talking about is if I have a game and I must give a specific example because I have this game on multiple platforms and I played a lot, Overwatch. When you have Overwatch, you actually can, and I think it might be a requirement, but link your console account, your PlayStation, Steam, or Xbox Live account to a Blizzard account. You create a Blizzard account and you link those to your account.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm linking that, if you know that I have it on PlayStation, you know I have it on Xbox, why not allow me to keep my progression singular? So I have
under your Blizzard account.
Yeah, under my Blizzard account, I have one profile, and my profile works when I log into my Xbox. I'm level 280 or whatever level I am, and when I log into my PS4, I'm at the same level. Where, as it stands now, I'm like level 26 or 27 on the PlayStation and like 200 on my Xbox. I mean, why can't it just be one account that just travels between the two? I understand the cross-platform play, and that's something but I don't understand why I can't have one save for multiple consoles.
Yeah,
if it's the same game. And again, this is one of those things that will benefit a developer and the player, and not adversely affect the platform holders, because as a developer, you're selling more copies.
Yeah.
As a player, I can play wherever I want to play, right? And as a console holder, it doesn't matter because people are buying the games and they're playing on your console. Whether I buy it on PlayStation and Xbox and I play 1 hour a week on PlayStation and 10 hours a week on Xbox, it doesn't matter. I have it on both systems, right?
Right.
So I don't see what the holdup is and why we aren't getting this. Because
I mean, we've seen it in some instances, like
right.
when they moved production of Grand Theft Auto 5 from the previous generation to this one, you were able to, if you were with the same manufacturer, so like if you had it for 360 and you got the same, you got the Xbox One version, you were actually able to move your progression along under your gamer tag.
Right.
And then the same thing happened for the PlayStation. They actually did the same thing for Destiny.
Yeah,
I believe Destiny, you could go back and forth. Couldn't you?
For a while. Yeah, for a while you can go back and forth. Then they sunset the 360 version, the previous generation versions, and then you couldn't. And then also on top of that, they did it for Battlefield at launch, at Xbox One launch for Battlefield 4. If you're playing Battlefield 4, because Battlefield 4 came out in October, and the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 didn't come out until November. If you're playing Battlefield 4 on PlayStation and Xbox, when it came out on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, you're able to transfer your progression, and they even gave you a discount. Like I think you had to buy it again, but you got it for like $20.
Right.
So paying a full price for both games. So if you bought it at release for the 360 and then you paid extra $20, you got it for the Xbox One too. But yeah, I mean it's easily possible. And on top of that, Blizzard isn't the only one to have these accounts. Ubisoft has it. EA has it. Bungie has it. Activision has it. All these guys have those their services that you have to sign into that you link to your
Square Enix has it.
Square Enix, yeah, that you link to your Xbox Live, your PSN, even some of them even have Steam account links that you link all of these together. If you're going to make me link it so you can track which systems I'm on, why not allow me to play the game on any system I want while maintaining my progression?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we've actually seen it go like truly cross-platform, but we know that it can be done, because they've done it, with Xbox 360 to Xbox One and PS3 to PS4, and even so we've seen it done before in a very limited capacity with a few titles. I don't see the reason why we can't just like roll that into all games, like. And I could understand, like if it's a game that doesn't have like a third party service that you have to sign into,
right?
But like if I'm like putting in my email and linking my account, like if it's linked, it needs to be truly linked.
Because when you do that, essentially they're tracking you, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna track me, give me something for me allowing you to track me, because for you to say, oh yeah, we just want you to get future discounts or future promotions. the hell with that. Give me my progression against on any system I want to play on. And that, I mean, it shouldn't be hard. I don't know why or who would be blocking this, why they would block it, or why Sony would block it, or Microsoft or Steam or anybody else. It makes no sense because, again, it shouldn't matter to them, because when you allow people to play what they want to play, they're going to play what they want to play anyway. Right.
And if they're I don't even know if it's either Microsoft or Sony that's blocking it. It may just be something that, you know, Blizzard and Activision, Ubisoft, it may just be something that they are just not doing. Not saying that, you know, they're doing anything on purpose. I just, you know, this is the first time that I've actually heard of this issue like coming up. I've never heard anybody complain about this before, but it's a very, you know, it's a very interesting conversation to have. It's like, why isn't this a thing? It's like, you don't think of it being a thing until it happens to you. See, I don't own 2 copies of Overwatch, so like it's not something that I would have personally experienced. I didn't purchase the Xbox One version of you know, GTA, and I didn't have the 360 version of Destiny, so it wasn't something that really impacted me. But like once you get into things like that, like I do have 2 copies of a game. I'd like to play on both consoles or whatever, you know, because we don't have cross-platform play. But it's like, man, I have to grind. I have to, you know, maintain 2 accounts.
That's impossible. Essentially, that's too much time. I mean, like especially a game like a Destiny or even Overwatch. There's no way I'm putting the time I'm putting. I don't have a lot of time to begin with. Right. So the time that I put into Overwatch, I play on Xbox because, and I've said this many times, I like the controller better. It's more comfortable to me. Right. And I'm not going to go and double my effort so I can maintain my PlayStation account. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. If it's where I can just keep my progression, and when you get on the Overwatch, I jump on PlayStation, play with you, and then when my guys on Xbox get on Xbox, I jump on to play with them, and I can use the same progression. I'm happy with that. I don't necessarily need anything else.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's something that needs to happen. And it's weird that it isn't a thing already. That's really weird. And as a matter of fact, I do own multiple copies of some games, and you know, like Rayman Origins or whatever. And Ubisoft like tracks me on like every version of the game that I have. Right. But it's like I have 3 separate save files, so it's just weird. It's really weird. But you know, that doesn't matter as much because that's like a single, like a local game. It doesn't have any like real online features. But like, what if I wanted to like track my progression, like my achievements or something like that? What if I wanted to maintain, you know, my high scores or something, like cross platforms or something? So I mean, it is something that you could argue for any game, like not just a multiplayer game.
No, right. I mean, any game I have that I might, because it may be a case of, and I go back to a story like back in the 360 PlayStation days. I didn't have a PlayStation 3 for a long time. The reason I got a PlayStation 3 is I got red ringed, and I had like the original Xbox 360 where you had to buy the little wireless adapter. That's what I was using.
Oh wow, damn, that was back in the day, man.
And because I had that on there, it scratched, you know, the little sticker. If you pull this off, it voids the warranty, blah, blah, blah. It scratched that. And they sent me an email back saying that they weren't going to fix it because I tampered with that sticker. And I'm like, the only thing I tampered with is because I had the wireless. And it pissed me off so much that I sold all my Xbox stuff and got a PlayStation 3, right? And
spite.
Yeah, I was like, you know what, the hell with you, Microsoft. And I sold all my Xbox stuff. I got the PS3. And I rebought a bunch of games that I already had on Xbox. And it would have been nice for me, instead of going into those games and having to start over, for me to load up my profile, link into my EA account and my Activision account, which they made me do anyway, and it just brought my progression with me, so I didn't have to start from scratch. Yeah. And when you come into those situations where, like, okay, I'm tired of Xbox, I'm not going to play Xbox anymore, I'm going to sell it, I'm going to trade it or whatever, because Sony has this great exclusive. Spider-Man's finally coming out. I don't want to have 2 systems. I don't need 2 systems. So I'm going to sell my Xbox and get Spider-Man. And I'm going to buy Overwatch again. And I'm going to buy Destiny again. I'm going to buy Madden again. When I log in, I should be able to pull all of my progress. I shouldn't have to start from scratch when I buy those games again.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I agree with that. That's definitely something that needs to happen. I think there needs to be a lot more like emphasis on this issue, because before this conversation, I've never heard of it before, but it's definitely a valuable argument. Like, why are you tracking me, but not allowing me to, move with my progress?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Got all this information on me, but I can't even like switch consoles.
Right, you still locking me behind. You still locking me in. You locking me away, right? You locking my content away. It's silly. It doesn't make it, and it's a detriment to them, because when you look at a game like a game that you put a lot of time in, like Rayman Legends, where you got to do all the collected, Destiny, where you just got to progress and grind. And the way Destiny works is, maybe I get the same gun on the PlayStation, but it doesn't have the same stat rolls, so I'm not happy with that, right?
Right.
So when you look at all of those nuances, it's a detriment, because I'm like, I don't want to go through all of that grinding again to get the stuff I had, and even if I get it, it's probably not going to be the same. So I'm just not going to buy it, right?
Right.
And you just move on, and that's a sale loss. Where if I can transfer my progression, I'm like, okay, I know as soon as I log in and link the account is going to bring all my stuff over there, I'm definitely buying this game again, right? So now they got 2 sales off of me instead of 1. And I mean, it's something that they definitely should look at. Again, development wise, I don't see where, I'm not sure where the back end where it would be a problem, but it shouldn't be cause any negative effect to any of the console platform holders at all. I don't.
Right. I don't think. I mean, and with Microsoft, pushing as heavily as they are for cross-platform play, cross-platform like progression and saves is probably just gonna, happen because of that. Like if they get what they want, then this will be something that this will be an adverse effect of cross-platform play as well. So yeah, definitely a valuable issue on its own, even without cross-platform play as an issue. Like the progression and save files is its own, like, very valuable like issue in games, because I know plenty of people that have multiple copies of games. Like even me, I had 2 versions of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Not that I wanted 2 versions, but everybody that I knew got it for PC, and I had got it for PlayStation.
Oh, so you didn't get a second copy to play?
So I had a second copy, and it's like, dude, I don't want to grind. I don't want to spend 30 hours grinding in 2 versions of the same game. I couldn't do it.
Right. Exactly.
So because for a while I did. Like when I started playing, like at launch, I had the PS4 version, and I played that, and then I got the PC version, and then I never played the PS4 version again. I'm like, I'm not doing all of that all over again. No.
It's not enough time. It's not enough hours in a day to do that. And again, me and you are perpetually behind on our game library.
Yes.
So there's no way we're gonna have time to just grind the same game on 2 different systems to maintain the same progress. It's just not happening.
That's why I'm still up in the air on which version of Destiny 2 I'm gonna get. If I even get it.
Yeah, I got the Xbox One version because I'm in a clan. Okay. It's the Xbox One clan. So that was definitely a no-brainer. But if Bungie tomorrow said, we're going to unlock cross-platform play. Oh, not cross-platform play. I'm sorry, but cross-platform progression. I will go and buy the PC version immediately.
Yeah, right away.
I won't buy the PlayStation version because I'm boycotting that. But I would definitely go out and buy the PC version if they told me I can get cross-platform progression. So whatever I find on Xbox, I'll be able to pick it up and have it on PC as well. I would go and buy another one. Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with that 100%. Let us know what you guys think. Are you for or against cross-platform save? Do you think that it's something that's needed, or can you live without it? Are you okay with grinding, in 2 separate games? Is it part of the fun? You have fun wasting your life? No, no. But for real, let us know what you guys think. I would love to pick your guys' brains on that topic, because it's not something that I've ever thought of, even though it's super important. It's super important, and these days where you can purchase a game from home, like you don't have to go out and buy it. Like it's nothing to just be like, oh well, you have it on PC. All right, I'll just get the PC version in addition to the other one that I already have. Right. It's like,
and I'll pick up right where I left off.
Yeah, pick up right where I left off. That's actually pretty dope. But let us know what you guys think. on the long form, in addition to any of the other stories that we talked about. And speaking of that, we're going to go into the next segment, which is our final thoughts. And this is where we just kind of just give our final like two cents on each topic. So I'll go first this time. As far as the PS VR price drop, it's not a price drop. They're giving you all of the required equipment. that's all that it is.
Yeah.
I guess it's unfortunate that you can't get. I wouldn't call it unfortunate, but I mean, it's to be expected that the original Xbox One would be discontinued. I already thought it was a thing. So for them to come out with the announcement, I guess is okay. That just means that my version is a collector's item. I will be selling it on eBay for 3 times the price that I paid for. So
there's your Xbox One X right there.
Yeah, that's my One X right there. Yeah, come on, let's go. Yeah, and Microsoft, it seems like they're pushing heavily for cross-platform play, and I think if they play nice with with the developers and with other companies like Nintendo or Steam or whatever, it's gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna happen, and I feel like PlayStation is gonna back themselves into a corner. They're gonna isolate themselves, and they're gonna be in the same predicament that they were last generation, where they had just a lot of issues with everybody in the industry, and then like they just had their own like thing going on,
right?
And everybody else was on doing their own thing. I think that could turn the tide in this quote unquote console war if PlayStation continues to be stubborn on this topic. It's definitely going to turn the tide, because then Xbox they won't even have to bring the games. They could multi-platform. You could just play multi-platform with anybody. Multi-platform games. That
play
will
with
be
your friends anywhere.
Yeah, that will be the appeal of the Xbox. It won't be like, oh, we got the exclusives. Oh, we got the no. You can play with virtually anybody on our platform. That's the appeal right there. So I really feel like Sony isn't going to have much of a choice. They're just playing a little hard to get right now, but it's going to happen, especially with them pushing the way that they are.
Yep.
Dead Rising 4, haven't really been a fan of that series, so for it to come out in PS4 in December is whatever. What is cool is that the current owners of the game will get the additional content in a free update. That's just good on Capcom for not making people pay money for stuff that people are going to get included in their version. Like that's actually pretty dope. They didn't have to do that, and normally they don't.
They don't, right?
They don't do that. Sonic Mania with the DRM, they fixed it, so I guess that's fine. Sonic Forces release date November 7th. That's actually gonna be that's really close to my birthday, so that's probably gonna be my birthday gift this year. I'm not too keen on the bonus content. I'm still on the fence with the custom characters. They still look kind of funny to me. The PS Plus games for this month, the free games look dope. Definitely going to download both titles, and the one from last month if I can still get my hands on it. And the Mixer updates, man, I'm really going to have to. We're streaming on Mixer right now,
right?
So I really need to start utilizing the multi-stream feature, man. We're going to have to get some multi-streams going on really soon, because like I really love that feature. The 30th anniversary for Street Fighter 2, it's $100, dude. Like, god dang, it's $100 and it's gonna blow up your hardware. Like, really? Come on now. Come on now. For $100, that thing better run. That thing better play, man. A $100 cartridge. Get out of here. I don't even know if the original cartridge is that much, like, right now.
Oh, right now, yeah. 'Cause I remember back in the day it was $60. Street Fighter 2. I remember that.
But like how I'm about to look it up right now.
It was one of the more expensive games back when Super Nintendo was actually in the thing.
Right.
And I don't remember why. I remember people complaining that it was $60, $59.99, where everything else I think was like at the time was like either $39 or $49.
You can get one on Amazon right now for $12.
Listen, it is not going to be opaque real red.
No, it's not. But if you want vanilla Street Fighter 2, you can get one for $12.70 on Amazon right now. You can even get Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo for freaking $17.70. So if you just want a
man.
Super Nintendo cartridge, don't pay $100 for it to blow up your freaking hardware. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And yeah, the Nintendo Indie event, a lot of cool games that came out of there. Some that I may actually pick up. I do need more games for my Switch, and I'm always a fan of like side scrollers and indie games. So that was actually really cool. But Boogie, what is some of your final thoughts?
I just don't like that Sony's getting away with murder. They're just robbing people blind. The PlayStation camera should have always been included included accessory with the PlayStation VR.
Right.
If they wanted to charge $399 or not, that was up to them. But for you to ship an item without necessary components is one thing for an optional component with the Move controllers, but it's another thing for a necessity with the camera. For them to take almost a full year to actually get that together, I think that's abysmal.
And they call it a price drop.
Right. The Xbox One being discontinued, I mean, for the past year since the Xbox One S has come out, that's been the face of Xbox. That's what you've seen in advertisements. So, I mean, it's just Microsoft confirming something they didn't last year. Like I said earlier, I think it's more of a way for them to dodge the fact that, hey, we're discontinuing the old one and people misinterpreting that message.
Right.
Double the cross-platform play. I mean, I hope at the very least, I hope they get the cross-plat with PC and Xbox. That's fine because I have a strong enough PC to play some of these games. Yeah, there's that, and I have some people on PC that I would like to play with.
Right.
Dead Rising 4, I'm like you said, I'm not a huge fan. I'm over zombies. Unless the Left 4 Dead 3 comes out, I'm not going to mess with any zombie games. But it's cool. I like that. It looks like it would be fun. I like the fact that, like you said earlier, that the Xbox owners or Microsoft owners, because it is available on PC. It's been available on PC. Microsoft owners are getting their free deal, their free update. That's cool. The Olympics, I think they're being hypocrites. The Sonic Mania, the Denuvo, just because it's Denuvo and it's not a very good DRM, I think
they probably should have just not done that.
Right. I think it's laughable. Sonic Forces coming out on November 7th. I hope it's 4K because I'm getting my Xbox One X that same day. Then we got the free PlayStation Plus games. They came strong. The second month in a row. Definitely, I'm getting Second Son. I'm definitely going to try out the shooter. I can't think of it now. It's called
Strike something.
Strike Vector, right?
Yeah.
Strike Vector. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try that out. The two PS Vita games. I mean, the PS Vita games to me are mostly like mobile games that don't look good on my TV. So to hell with that.
Right.
The mix updates are cool. I like that you're able to stream 1080 on any of the Xbox systems, not just the more powerful ones. I mean, that's just standard. Everybody, there's nobody around in these days and time that don't have a full 1080p TV, and for you not to be able to stream 1080p is kind of laughable. The mobile games is cool. I like that. I probably won't watch any Pokemon mobile games because it'll make me sick. But I also like that they'll let you use your mobile device, be it a tablet or phone, as to reply to chat, to respond to chats.
Yeah, so that's actually really cool.
Yeah, you don't have to leave your game because in a game like Overwatch is notoriously quick to boot you if you're inactive. In fact, I got booted trying to report somebody. I thought that was BS, but whatever. The 30th anniversary SNES cartridge. I mean, I look at it as a collector's edition. I don't think that they expect anybody to really be playing it.
I mean, but then just call it a collectible cartridge, man. Like the Sonic Mania collector's edition had like a little cartridge that came with it. It's not functional. It's just a prop. It's just something cool. That's
their point. Their point is like, oh, you get this cool collectible cartridge, and guess what? It works too. That is the fact that it works.
At the cost of your hardware.
The fact that it works is a bonus. It's not the actual product. The product is a collectible cartridge.
It's not the appeal of the product. Right. Not that it works, but that
it's a collectible.
It's a collector's item. Okay, I can see that.
I think the misstep is the 1,000 blanker cartridges not being you can't choose it. It's just a randomly packed in item. That's going to make some eBay millionaires. I bet you money.
Oh my goodness! It's like, what if you just want the red one? Then what?
Oh my gosh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
And then the Nintendo Indie event, Nintendo to hell with you and your Nindies.
Nindies.
That's just ridiculous. But the list of games, they look good. There's a couple on there that I'm super interested in. And it's cool. The more content, like I've been playing my Switch a lot, but I don't play it on the TV. I've been taking Mario Rabbids. I've been playing that everywhere. I take the Switch off the thing. I'm sitting on the toilet, I'm laying on the couch, going to bed. I have that Switch and I'm playing Mario Rabbids. I like that. That's awesome. I've found that with Splatoon, I didn't want to do it because Splatoon has a more complex controls. Yeah. But with Mario and Rabbids, it's simple. So it's easy. It's easier for me, and it's just the Switch is not comfortable. That control, those Joy-Cons on the side.
Oh yeah, I don't think you'll ever catch me using Joy-Cons like on purpose.
For a long period of time. But yeah, I think those
controller boys all day.
Those indies that's coming out, they are tailor made for the Switch and what the Switch is.
Yeah,
and that's all I have to say. I think.
All right. So those are our final thoughts. Let us know what you guys think on any of the stories that we spoke on today. You can catch us on Twitter. We are at AWGamingNS. We're also on Facebook, a weekly gaming news show, or AWGNS. Just use the call letters. We're also on YouTube. And if you tune in on Saturdays, Boogie does the weekly gaming news 10 and 10, which gives you a snippet into what we will be discussing on Sunday's podcast. Speaking of that, our current schedule, Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we go live on Mixer, on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitch. And then the following day on Monday at noon is when when everything goes out on YouTube and on your favorite podcasting apps. As speaking of podcasting apps, Boogie, why don't you let them know exactly where they can listen to us if they want to take us on the go?
Okay, so we're on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn Radio. We're also in the general podcasting directory. So any podcaster you use, any podcasting apps like iTunes, the iTunes app, or even like Overcast or Cast, any of those apps, you can search us, a weekly gaming news show, or AWGNS. Go to iTunes, go to Google, go to TuneIn. Rate us, leave us some feedback, comments. Let us know what you like, something you'd like to see more of, something you'd like to see less of, something you'd like to see that we don't do at all. We'll take a look at it. If we can implement it, we will.
Yes. And we always take your comments and criticisms to heart. We will take them into consideration as well. There are some new things that we have coming down the pipeline that we want to test out very soon. So look forward to that. And follow us on Twitter and let us talk. Let's get the discussion going. We love talking to you guys. We love interacting with you guys, and we love providing a show that you guys like to watch. We discuss video game news and stories all week long, and then we bring all that together and we present it to you guys so that you guys can get involved with it as well. So let us know what you think. Give us your feedback. It'll be definitely appreciated. And I think we can go ahead and end on that note. We are your hosts. My name is Trinell.
I'm Todd.
And we will see you guys
next week.
Peace out. All right.